Hey everyone, episode 4 of 4 with Matt, the mortgage guy. How you doing, buddy?
Living the dream.
There you go. Hey, one of the things I wanted to talk about, this was really an example of something that we've both seen out there, is there's a lot of dentists, a lot of doctors, lawyers who make a great income, who are now nervous about the stock market, right? Kind of at the peak. And I'm getting more people reaching out to me going, hey, you talk about getting to 4 rentals. How can we do that? You do turnkey. How can you help me do that? And they're not really even thinking about yields and invested. They just, hey, I want to go buy 4 middle of the road cash flow rentals. They're even telling me they'll put 40 or 50% down. So what kind of advice do you give for those, lawyers, dentists, doctors, people making 200, 300, 400K who are looking to diversify and get away maybe from the stock market and buy, let's say 4 rental property, 4 single family homes?
Yeah. I mean, I love working with those folks because they're in a great position. They've set themselves up where on paper, that's exactly what a lender wants is, 780 credit score, W-2's 460,000 a year,
Yeah.
and, has money in the bank to put down. And so, they reach out to me as well. And they've got money in the bank, or like you said, money in the stock market. They understand what a stable asset real estate is. They understand that this humongous tax burden they have
Yeah.
is helped by by diversifying a little bit and investing in real estate. And so I think it's just a matter of connecting with somebody that can educate them, because I think for the most part, the ones that I get are reaching out to me. They're phenomenal doctors. They're phenomenal dentists, or, whatever their profession is, but they don't really know anything about finance and real estate. And so the reason they're not invested in it is because they just don't understand it. And if they take, a little bit of time, follow some of the stuff that you do to learn about a market, they'll see, wow, this is a really stable investment.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like you said, they're in a position they could put down 25, 30, 40%. And a lot of times it's not, I think with a good mortgage professional, a good CPA, and, somebody who can guide them on the real estate side, it's a huge asset for them for net worth building. It's a huge asset for, from a tax standpoint, from all of that.
Right.
And, they're set up in a perfect position to do that, so that when they're tired of cutting people open or whatever their day job is,
Yeah.
they can ride off into the sunset and have this, quote,
Yeah.
fairly passive income.
Yeah. For me, a lot of these, because again, these are the folks that, again, I talk to, I don't know, a couple of months of these kind of folks, right? They're a little bit like unicorns. Maybe I don't know what to call them. They're unicorns. And for most of them, it's like, hey, I want to peel off a little bit and create a truly legacy wealth, right? They're going to work till they're 70 years old because they're the best cardiologist or brain surgeon or whatever they are. But they're like, hey, I've got 3 kids. Maybe I'm a grandparent, depending on how old they are. And they're like, hey, I want to create something, that's relatively riskless, that also has appreciation. And, today's, I hear mortgage rates are low. I'm like, yeah, they're low. Must be nice not to worry about stuff like that, Mr. and Mrs. Doctor. But yeah, I'm like, we got to get to 4. And for them, it's not even return. A lot of people, like when I started, I had to get the best deal, right? Getting an 8% return versus 6 meant something to me. They were like, shit, I don't care. I mean, they're printing money every time they do whatever they do. But they're like, no, I just, I'll put extra down. And I want, when you look at the Monopoly board, they're like Marvin, they're like in the yellows usually, right? They're like, I want to buy that thing. They're not on the, purple and light blue section. They don't want the drama. They don't want anything. They want to go park $100,000 or 120 grand and, see what blossoms.
Right. And that's the thing too, is, I'll tell you a quick story. The client I'm doing a loan for, Wells Fargo high yield savings account was like 0.008, not even a tenth of 1%.
Yeah, it's 0.08. I have that. Yes.
And so you've got this client of mine had 1.3 million in this account.
I do not have that much.
earning essentially nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And so, like you said, 4%, 6%, 8%, they're not worried about that. Between that yield, debt pay down, future appreciation, this thing is doing 100x what that Wells Fargo account is doing. And so it
Yeah,
excites me to be in a position where like, I know a little bit about this side. Let me
yeah,
tell you about it. Cause it's sweet. It's a lot sweeter than that Wells Fargo account.
yeah. And oh, by the way, you can actually have that be something you pass on when you pass on, right? As opposed to just $1 million in a, an account. You can say, hey, that house 123 Main Street that, we painted that one time as a family or whatever they do. Yeah, it's generational. And most of the time, I don't know what it is. It's just doctors for whatever reason. I don't know why, but maybe they see death all day. I don't know. But they're the ones that talk to me about generational. They're like, hey, help me get one per kid or help me get one per grandkid. I've heard that. They're just different conversations, and they're often deep conversations for some reason. I guess I don't know what happened. Something in life must trigger, and they're like, hey, and usually it's like, hey, I want to get 4 tomorrow or like in the next 30 days. I'm like, are you sure? Is that really what you want to do? Do you want to try it once? No, I'm good. I got the cash. Let's roll. I'm like, ooh, okay.
Right. And like you said, they're in a great position too, where somebody who's, got to get a 12% return because they're trying to quit their day job.
Yeah.
And no, this is somebody who's trying to create generational wealth, like you said, and just, add to the net worth. And they're in a phenomenal position. So I think my advice to them is just give me a call, give somebody a call, and educate yourself about it a little bit. Because 20 years from now, you're going to thank yourself.
Absolutely.
If you keep that money in Wells Fargo, you're going to regret it.
I totally agree. Well, we haven't done this on the first 3, so we'll do it now. How would you like people to get a hold of you if they'd like to talk about anything mortgages, refi, owner-occupied investment in California?
I've got plenty of cool messages to Matt, M-A-T-T, at mattthemortgageguy.com. That's the best way, because then it gets put on a checklist where I make sure I check it. If you call me and don't leave a message, that's the absolute surefire way to wave at me from an airplane and never have me see it, because I've got a bunch of unfamiliar numbers that don't leave a message. I assume you're a scam call.
Exactly. So Matt at mattthemortgageguy.com. Just send an email there. Somebody in your team will be in contact. You'll reach out and go from there.
Yep.
And again, folks, if you don't know, he is giving away $695 processing fee, I think it is called, if you tell him you came from one rental at a time.
Sure thing.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much. This has been a fun week.
Thanks, Mike. Merry Christmas, man.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Thank you.